Hey, Alan here. My wife says that the dryer is a little noisy, so let's take a look. This is a Kenmore dryer, about 10 years old. Yep, she nailed it. Alright, so let's get to it. Let's see if we can fix this dryer. This lid pops up. There's a clip in here, and all you have to do is not pry, but just push back on the clip. Like that. And lift up. There's another one on this side. Just push in, and it lifts right up. First screw's right here. I'm just going to use a 5/16 socket. You can put it on a ratchet, or in this case I have a nut driver. Take the screw out. To take this connector off, I'm just gonna lift it up a little bit and pry. And there it is. It pulls right apart. And then the second bolt is right here. Okay, so now my front cover's loose. There are 2 retaining clips on the bottom of this on each side, and in theory I should be able to just lift this up and remove the cover. And there it is, cool. Now I have to remove this next piece, and there are 8 screws holding this up. To remove this piece is where the lint trap goes. You just push it down and it falls right out like that. I've got one more connector here, which is just like the one we did before. And it comes right out like that. This piece is ready to come out. The 2 top screws I just loosened because there's a notch here. So all I have to do is lift it up and this should fall off. I'm going to hold the drum in place. There it is. And it's off. So we've got a bad squeaking sound, and there are 2 wheels here. They're right on the edge of the drum, and there's 2 on the back as well. These 2 look fine, they sound good. I don't think that's our problem. Okay, now it's time to take the belt off so we can get the drum out. You can do this from the front, although I took the back off just so I can get a camera in there to take a look at it. But from the front, all you gotta do is reach in over here, make sure it's unplugged. Here's my idler pulley, here's my motor pulley. So this idler pulley is spring loaded, so all I gotta do is pull this forward. And that relieves the tension on the motor and the belt, and I could just use my finger to take it off the motor pulley and ease the tension. And that's it, the belt's off. I think the biggest risk of taking the belt off is getting your fingers caught in the pulley. So once you grab a hold of it, you just gotta not let go until that belt's undone. Don't, you know, if you get the belt off and let it go, it'll snap shut. So you just have to watch you don't pinch your fingers. Now that the belt's loose, I can pull up the slack here, and it kind of makes a handle. They put little indentations here, and I'm hoping, it'll let me get the drum out. So that's it, there's the drum, there's the belt. So now you can see inside the dryer. A couple observations, I've got a guide wheel here. Feels pretty good, no binding. Another one here, feels pretty good. And down here is my idler pulley. And it's got some tension to it. It's bound up, I can spin it, but it doesn't spin smoothly. Motor spins smoothly, idler pulley doesn't. I think it's the idler pulley going bad. If you look down there, you can actually see some rubber and some belt chunks. So I think this pulley was starting to seize under pressure, and the belt would squeal by rubbing against it and rubbing against the pulley and making the noise. So we're going to change out the idler pulley and put a new belt on. You can see the belt is starting to fray. Probably wouldn't have been too long before that belt broke. A couple more spots. You can see there it's also starting to fray. It was definitely taking some abuse from that bad idler pulley. So you change your pulley, you should change your belt. You'd be crazy not to replace this belt. Even on a new pulley, it's just not going to last very long. So that's gone. So to remove the idler pulley, I'm just going to take off this screw. It's a 3/8, and once I take off the screw, the spring will pop right out. I'm going to do it from the front. That's it. There's the bolt. There's the old idler pulley. There's the old spring. Got my new parts. They're Whirlpool parts. Even though this is a Kenmore, it's made by Whirlpool. I just called my local appliance center and they had them in stock. I think it was called All Brand Appliance in Levittown, PA, and they were pretty awesome. Great customer service. Prices were competitive, and they had them right in stock, and I had them in about an hour. Here's the idler pulley, and here's my new belt. Just an interesting little observation. There's a switch in here, and I can only think that if the belt breaks, this tensioner slams down, leaves the spring tension, and shuts the switch, which is probably an off switch. It's probably a safety device, so that as soon as the belt breaks, the dryer shuts down. Kind of cool. So it's important then when you put this in that this goes under that safety switch, like that. And this bolt has a shoulder on it, and that shoulder is meant to go in here. I'm going to tighten my bolt. And there we go. You can see the switch is working. You can hear it click. When the belt's on, it'll be tight. If the belt breaks, it gets loose and shuts off. One thing I will do before I put this back in is to vacuum the inside real quick. There's a lot of buildup of lint and stuff. I can't resist. I got to clean it while I got it open. Time to put the drum back. Put the new belt around it. Slide it in place. Can't see it on camera, but I gotta just make sure that the back edge goes over the two guide wheels. Then it just locks into place, and you can feel that they're rolling smoothly. So I know I have them. I'll let the belt slack and put that down. And I'm gonna put the belt back on. And to do that, I'm gonna do it from the front, but film from the back. If I wasn't filming, I wouldn't have removed the dryer and taken the back off. So I'm gonna take the belt like this and go underneath the idler pulley and have my finger around it like that. Then I'm gonna pull back the spring tension on the idler pulley all the way back and just with my fingers loop it over the motor pulley. And that's it. That's how you put the belt on. To put this piece back on, I got to make sure I get the drum to lay on the guide wheels. So I'll just lift up the drum and I'll eyeball those. You can really see them. That looks good. Get that screw on. And that one. Put this on, I'm just going to drop it down and it just lifts right up into place. Don't forget to reconnect your connector or something isn't going to work. Okay, got that. Now the front panel. There's just a little prong here that hooks into that square hole here on both sides. Okay, that's both sides. Now's not the time to drop a screw, because then you have to take it apart to go get it. And then one more on this side. And you gotta make sure you open the door. Put the lid back down, nice and gently. If it sticks, you just push the clip out, and it snaps right in. So, funny little story. Can anyone guess why I have the dryer put back in place after assembling it and have it all apart again? Well, I'll tell you why. I hook it up, I turn it on, and it didn't turn on. The drum wouldn't spin. Can anyone tell me why? Because the clue's in the video. I'll tell you why. I forgot to plug in this connector. So I think it's the door switch. So it thinks the door's open so it won't start the drum. No big deal, right? All I gotta do is flip the lid, plug it in, drop the lid, and go. The only problem is, when I flip the lid, put it back, I knocked this clip out. So I look down, I can't find the clip. So I start taking it apart again. And for the life of me, I look in here, and I cannot find this little green clip. Ready for this? There it is, in the bottom of the door. Took me 10 minutes before I realized to look there and found it. Anyway, we'll put it together again, hook up that wire and see if it works. All the trouble because I forgot to do that. Well, I'll call it fixed. I got a little jammed up on this trying to make a video and taking it out and making a couple mistakes. It took longer than I thought. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video.